Hello everyone, Catweazle here, welcome to the channel and welcome back to Descent, Journeys in the Dark, 2nd edition and Forgotten Souls Turn 11. But before we get on with Turn 11, I made a right balls up last episode that I'm going to have to sort out. Yep, just one of those episodes when you play solo, like you just make a mess, and it was pretty horrendous. So, but fortunately, we can fix it. Now, if you remember, start of last episode, I went back to the end of turn 9 and we gave all our monsters an extra activation. Now, the first activation was the Master against Cindriel. Now, he put 2 damage on her. What I forgot was she still had her wooden shield. So, in fact, he only put 1 damage on her, so she went to 4. After that, we got the 2 minions going and they attacked Widow Tara and put 5 damage on her, except, if you remember, the activation card gave them +1 damage. So they in fact put 7 damage on her, not 5. So that was the mess up that I made in the end of turn 9. Let's go to turn 10. And again, it's the Overlord phase and it's monster activation. The Master had to attack the ranged hero, which was Widow Tara. Now, I said that used a surge for heal, but if you look at heal, it's actually an action. That's me being Mr. Magoo. Couldn't use a mend because it wasn't hurt, so it would have used its surge for an extra 2 damage. Bad news, because it was already getting +1 damage from the activation card. That takes her to 10. So let's get rid of those 2. Put that on. 10. That's her health. She is knocked out. Poor old Widow Tara. She's gone. Because she's gone, that means these 2 guys wouldn't have attacked her. What they would have done is, according to the activation card, they would have attacked Cindriel, who is the nearest in line of sight. So, we'll use exactly the same die rolls, because she's got a grey defence die, just like Widow Tara has, and it would have ended up that they would have mended 1 each. Yeah. So, like I've got here, down here, we'd have ended up on 2 on the green, 1 on the purple. And they would have put 1 damage each on Cindriel. But remember, it's a new turn, and she still had her wooden shield. So, instead of taking 2 damage, like the Widow did, she'd have only taken 1, which would have put her up to 5 damage. And that is where we leave it. I think I have corrected everything. Again, apologies for that. But as I always say, playing solo is a bit of a laugh. So occasionally make a mistake and it just sort of like it compounds itself as it goes on. So apologies for that, but I think we have been able to catch it. So just in a recap, Cindriel is at 5 damage. Widow Tara has been knocked out, so we've put her little we've put a little token here to point that out. We do have 1 single damage on the purple guy because the Master didn't do heal, couldn't do heal, so it's still got 1 left, and the green one has still got 2 damage left. So that is where we're up to. As I say, apologies about that. Got it wrong, but we have fixed it. Right, so let's get on with turn 11 and the hero phase. And here we are in the hero phase. We're going to go with Averick first. Why not? Let's get it all sorted out Avric is going to spend his first action to move here, right next to the pit. Then he is going to chuck the cauldron in. So he has a spare action, so that is fine. He has chucked the cauldron in the pit. Let's get rid. Right, let's have a look at the Room of Souls. As an action, so he doesn't have to suffer the 2 wounds or 2 fatigue, while adjacent to a pit space, the hero carrying the cauldron may destroy it, and he cannot perform actions other than those listed above, which is basically moving and doing it. If the hero carrying the cauldron, well, he didn't suffer any wounds, so that's fine. So let's go down to, if a hero destroys the cauldron, discard it. We've just done that. That hero draws 1 search card. Now, that is not going to get rid of his peril card, because you have to do a search action. That wasn't a search action, that was chucking a cauldron in a pit. But he still gets a search card. This week on We Want a Health Potion, we are going to draw a search card. What do we get? A health potion, because we rock. So, that's good news, because I think Widow Tara is going to need it. Right, so he's found a health potion. That goes on his player tray because he found it. Let's carry on with the Room of Souls. Each hero receives 2 XP. So, what we've got Widow Tara on 3 experience points. We've got Sindriel on 3 experience points. And we have Avric on 2. Remember, he spent 1 experience point right at the beginning on, what is it? Cleansing Touch. So we've done really well. We did not crack the cauldron. Then Refresh Fate, thank God. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to do. Fate actually went down extra because the Widow got knocked out. But it doesn't matter because we can now refresh it. So it goes right to the top and we discard the Room of Souls card. Brilliant. Now, he's got 4 fatigue. He can go up to 5 because he has the Ring of Power. He is going to go up to 5. He's going to spend a fatigue. Oh, hang on. Let me just... Let's say all he can do this turn. He cannot perform any other actions other than those. Well, it's not an action. Spending a fatigue is not an action. So he's going to spend that fatigue, put him up to a maximum of 5. Remember, he's got the Ring of Power, which gives him an extra stamina. And he's just going to move right next to the door. Cool. That is it for Avric. Right, who's next? It's Sindriel who's next, because she's looking to kick some ass. Let's go to Sindriel. And here we are with Sindriel. Now, nobody answered about the fire flask. Well, Evgeny did, but he was just saying like you could discard it if you want to, you know, move the loot track up. I don't want to discard it, but I do want to have it in my hand. So to make sure that nobody comes along in the future and says like, oh, you couldn't have a sword in your hand and a shield in your hand and chuck the fire flask, she is actually not going to use the wooden shield. So she's got rid of it, and in her shield hand she's having the fire flask. She's not going to use it immediately, but she has got it in her other hand. So what hand? So she's got a fire flask in one hand and she's got the iron longsword in the other. She's going to use the iron longsword to hit this guy. So that is a blue, a red, and it's a grey, I think. Yes, it is a grey die for the master. And what we're hoping for is a bit of luck. We want to see plenty of hearts. We see 3 hearts and a surge. Right. Now, she's going to use that surge to make him re-roll the grey die as per the longsword. We want to see 0. And we see 0. So that is 3 damage. Use my phone. That is 3 damage onto the master, which is brilliant stuff. Remember, these guys cannot regenerate. Well, not regenerate. They cannot come back from the dead anymore because we have got rid of the Room of Souls card. So that is 3 damage on the master. What she's going to do for a second attack is she is going to use the Fire Flask. She's going to flip this card over and make a ranged attack. So it's blue and yellow. Blue and yellow. And she's going to make the attack. We'll do that first because each of these guys have got to roll a grey die separately. So she's going to lob it right here on the purple guy. It's blast. So it affects everyone around it. So all these will be affected, all these squares. She's going to lob it right in the middle, right on the grey guy. For 3 damage. Remember, it's a ranged attack, but she's got 5 range. That is fine. So it lands here. These 2 guys have both got to make a save. So purple guy first. Remember, he got 1 damage on him. Way missed. So that is 3 on him. It's only 4. Purple guy has died. Woohoo! Brilliant. He has gone and met his maker. Next up is the green guy. Oh, he got 3 shields. The git. So he got 3 shields and survived. If he'd got 2 shields, like with this, or 1 shield, we'd have killed him. But he has managed to get away with it. But she's still done a great job. She's killed 1 of them. She's put 3 on this guy. Right, next up, it is Widow Tara. All she can do is stand. Let's get rid of them. All she can do is stand up. So let's get rid of that. Down there. So she stands up. What she does when she stands up is she rolls 2 red die. We are hoping for a good roll. All the hearts that she gets means all the health she gets back. Any surges that she rolls means she recovers fatigue. Well, she didn't recover any fatigue, but she didn't do too bad. She got 4 health back. So she is on 6 health, but she's still maxed out on her fatigue. She cannot do anything else this turn. So that is it for the hero phase. Fortunately, it is now the Overlord phase. So the Master and the green minion are going to have to go. Let's crack on. And here we are at the Overlord phase. So first of all, we have Overlord effects. There are none because the cards disappeared. But that's not good, because the cards disappeared. It means we've got Fate. So Fate moves down 1 after we moved it back up to the top, and we've got to take a good old Peril card. So here's what's left of the Peril deck. And let's see what we get. We've got monsters on the board. So it's the bottom half. Fighting is difficult work. Tell me about it. But this skirmish is particularly tough. Each hero within 2 spaces of a monster suffers 3 fatigue. So within 2 spaces. 1, 2. She's fine. Thank God for that. but both Averick and Cinderella aren't. So they take 3 fatigue. Now Averick is fully at his fatigue. He's got 2 health. 2 wounds. It's going to go up to 5 because he can't take any of that as fatigue. And you can't get rid of it either because of that stupid peril card. And who is it? It's Cinderella. She's got 5, but she's only got 1 fatigue. So she is going to go up to her full fatigue. Oh, what a pain. Right, anyway. So that was bad for Averick. But it's okay because he'd already got rid of the cauldron. Thank God. Right, remember? He's got 2 XP. She's got 3 and she's got 3. So the end of this room we'll be able to obviously get some pretty funky stuff. In fact, I don't know whether they could have got the funky stuff straight away. I'm just going to play it at the end of the room. But it could be somebody's going to turn up who knows what they're doing, like Evgeny or Danny or somebody, and say, well, if I was you, I'd have spent some of your XP there and got some funky stuff. I'll just play it at the end of this turn. Well, I'll do it at the start of next turn, actually. But, yes, it could be that I could have spent those XP straight away. But I'd just like to finish the turn, so we'll carry on. So that could be a big mistake. But anyway, right, let's carry on. So we've done the peril card, we've done the fate. So now, good old monster activation. And let's do a cut. Whoop, sorry. Yeah, we'll do a cut, so that'll be the top one. Right. Flesh moulders. So this one is split. So minions to go first. Attack the closest hero in line of sight. So it's the minion that's going first. And closest hero, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we have Cinderella or we have Widow Tara. What we're going to do is it's going to attack Widow Tara. Now I think I can choose. So I'm picking somebody who's got the absolute worst wounds. There you go. But I have a feeling I could choose Cinderella, but I'm going to choose Widow Tara because I think that's what the Flesh Moulder would do. Righto, so it's going to attack blue and yellow, and we get a grey defence die. Oh, we got 3. 3 damage, but we got 3 shields. It didn't hit us. Good stuff. So it's used up its attack. Remember, it can't attack again. Engage the exit of the current encounter if the Master Flesh Moulder is not on the map. The Master Flesh Moulder is on the map. Engage the Master. Right. It's going to move towards the Master. It has a movement of 4, so it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it'd try and get there to try and stop Cinderella getting to the door. Those are its 2 actions. So now we're on the Master. Attack the closest hero in line of sight, Cinderella. So we'll do that before we read through the rest. We're going to attack Cinderella. Exactly the same. Dice. Right, we got Surge. Bad. Got a Surge. Surge is bad. 2. We have got a... Oh, that reminds me. Did we use a wooden shield? Don't think we did. I think I was using that, wasn't I, to... What's the word? Illustrate what I was doing before. So I think a wooden shield is still fine. I'll check that in editing. If it isn't, I'll put an extra hit on her. But I think she can get rid of that wooden shield. which means that goes up to 2. We've got no damage. Now there is a surge. So if we look at this, can either mend 2, which I think it will do, or put 2 extra damage on. But if you remember, damage is right at the bottom, so it's going to mend 2. So it's only going to have 1 damage left on it, the master. That is what it's going to do. No extra damage on Cindriel. I think with things like mend, you know, that are for, they're like defensive, aren't they? I think they're fine. I think you only have to get damage if you're actually putting a condition onto a hero, or you're doing something to a monster whereby it affects them. If you're doing something for yourself, then I think you don't have to put actual damage on. That's the way I'm reading it anyway. It makes sense to me. Why would it have to get a damage on Cindriel to heal itself? Absolutely no reason. So it's going to use its surge to heal itself, and it's down to 1 damage now. Right, that is the end of the monster activation. Well, oh no it isn't, what I'm talking about. That's its last attack. Now it could use an action to heal the monster within 3 spaces that has the most damage. In fact, it's this one. It's got 2. And heal, we have to roll a red die. And it gets 3. So actually it works out quite well. Flesh boulders, pain in the backside. So there's only 1 hit on the master, and there are no hits whatsoever on the minion now. Thanks to that, we could have done without that. I roll a 3 and a surge. I don't roll a 3 and a surge when flaming Avric's try to heal anyone, but there you go. So we're in big trouble again. That is the end of the turn. Fantastic. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of Cindriel. 5 health. She's used up all of her fatigue. And the Iron Longsword. And it's the end of the turn, so this will refresh. Again, she might have an extra damage. I've just got to check whether she exhausted that at the start of this turn, or when I was like illustrating what I had done wrong previous turns. Anyway, here we are. So, yes, we've got to kill these 2 quick, because I do not want another fate and peril. We've got to open that door. I'm not keen on opening that door while these 2 are still alive. So I think what we'll do, we'll have Widow Tara and Cindriel attack these guys and try and kill them. Hopefully, one of them will kill them early, and we'll still have a hero's like couple of actions and Avric's actions to actually open the door and prepare for whatever is on the other side. Also remember what we're going to do, because this is the end of the turn. As I say, we could have done it, I'm not sure whether we could have done it during the turn, but we now have 3 XP, 3 XP, 2 XP that we can spend. I will spend it before the start of next turn. I may have been able to spend it before the Overlord phase, I don't know. But I haven't, and I will spend it in between turns. Cool. Right, so that is the end of turn 11. So, thank you very much for watching. Thanks very much for all the subscriptions. I hope I haven't ballsed up as much as I did in the previous episode, but I may have done. If I have, my profuse apologies, and I'm sure if Genny, Danny, Pencil Parley, a few other people who are on the ball, a lot more on the ball than I am, will point it out. And please, please, please do. I can always do what I did at the start of this episode and try and roll everything back. But hopefully I got it a bit more right than I did do in turn 10. So thanks very much for watching. Thanks for all the subscriptions and everything. It's absolutely marvellous. Thanks for going across to Board Game Links to upvote the site. So I do hope that you join me for turn 12 of Descent, Journeys in the Dark, 2nd edition, Forgotten Souls. But until then, this is me, Catweazle, signing off. Toodaloo.